Welcome to the Make More Money as a Dietitian podcast. I am your host, Christine Diane Thompson, and this podcast is for dietitians who are ready to stop apologizing for wanting more money, more freedom, and a career that actually honors everything that you bring to the table. This is where we ditch the guilt and start building something big. If that resonates with you, let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. Hey there, my friends. Welcome to episode 367 of the Make More Money as a Dietitian podcast. I'm so glad you're here this week for another episode on the pod. I do not have any notes or script or anything like that today because today I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you like I used to back in the day, as they would say. When I started this podcast back in 2019, I literally, for the first maybe even the first, maybe 250 to 300 episodes, I did not have a script. I did not really take notes. I just showed up, and whatever flowed from me is what you got. I didn't edit my podcast much at all. I did have a podcast editor for a bit, but they really didn't like cut out pieces or, anything like that. It was just more so making it sound crisp and clear, making sure the intro and the outro had a little fancy fades like you just heard a moment ago, which I just did myself because I'm learning. But no fancy editing back in the day, just me showing up and giving you what I thought you needed. And we are here in 2025, and I feel like I need to go back to doing that because that is who I am. I am someone who will show up and just allow whatever needs to come through me so that I can share what is meant to be shared. Sometimes, like even when I'm in my coaching sessions with clients, something will come through and I will be like, what was that? So I want to get back to the roots of the podcast, which is also part of the reason why I changed the name back to Make More Money as a Dietitian. But I want to get back to the roots of just making sure that you get what you are intended to get every single week. And yes, there will be times when I am making sure that it is structured in a way where, I know what the title is and all the things. But as soon as I turn the mic on, I know you're getting what you need to get because it's just flowing through me. And wouldn't it be lovely if you were able to do the same thing in your business, in your career as a dietitian? Wouldn't it be lovely and wouldn't it be less stressful if you knew that every time you showed up to work, that your clients would be getting exactly what they need? Not because you had the perfect notes ahead of time and the perfect protocol and you made sure that you had your checklist and all the things, but because you trusted your own intuition, your own inner wisdom to be able to hold the space for the client to get exactly what they need. I've worked with so many dietitians over the years who have some of them, not all of them, but some of them have really felt so challenged with showing up on calls and feeling like they're not prepared for the call. And that's really what I want to talk to you about today, also, because there are times when we feel like we need to be prepared and not really fully believing that we already are. You're already prepared because you already have everything you need, my friend. You have everything you need to support your clients. But there are many of you out there who think it needs to be perfect for some reason or another. You think it needs to be perfect because, maybe because we were kind of trained that way, right? We were trained to make sure that everything is just right, that we cross all the T's and dot all the I's, we check all the boxes. And somewhere along the way, we lose our intuitiveness, our ability to trust our gut feeling on certain things. Now, I'm not trying to dilute science and evidence-based practices. I do believe that there is a place for both your intuition and the science. But many of us are not trusting ourselves enough. And I have seen so many amazing, wise, intellectually smart women out there who are dietitians not trust themselves enough to be able to support their clients. And so today I want to just have a conversation with you and hopefully inspire you and motivate you enough to be able to trust your intuition. I want to also remind you that you do have an intuition. You were born to be intuitive. And many of you know this because you actually teach intuitive eating. And you're an advocate for intuitive eating, but maybe you don't trust your own intuition beyond the eating piece. But I want to remind you that intuitiveness is not compartmentalized, that your intuition is something that resides within you. It is a gift. It is a gift that will allow you to expand so fully into the work that you're meant to be doing to help your clients, as long as you're willing to tap into it and you're willing to trust it. And it is a practice because sometimes life has taken us through so many things, so many challenges, so many trials, so many disappointments that maybe we've gotten to the point where we don't trust our intuition. We don't trust anything outside of our own intellect, right? But your intuition is always with you. It just gets covered up, okay? It gets buried sometimes. So I want to be here today to remind you that just how you teach your own clients about intuitive eating, which involves honoring certain things, trusting certain things, allowing certain things. I want to remind you that that is something very similar that you may need to do in your own career. And if you own a private practice or a nutrition business of any kind, how you need to do that in those areas, your practice, your business, your career. So, what do you need to honor in your career, in your practice, with your clients? What is it that you need to honor? What is it that you need to allow? What is it that you need to trust? Because you are a healer. It is such a gift that you have chosen a profession where you get to help people heal their lives with food and nutrition. What a gift. What an honor that is in itself, right? And so maybe bringing yourself back to allowing yourself to remember just that one thing, that it is an honor to be able to use your gifts and your talents to help people heal themselves through food and nutrition. And like I know that it's not even just about the food, is it? For most people, food is not necessarily the problem, right? And then we end up becoming what I call food therapists. But however you practice, just know that I see you and I see you for more than what you probably see yourself. It is really so important that we, as nutrition scientists, begin to think of ourselves as more than just a scientist, that we begin to think of ourselves also as people who heal other people through food and nutrition. And sometimes even a little bit of compassion. And dare I say, love. Love and compassion and food all together is such a beautiful healing melody. And if you would just allow yourself to drop into that, would your career as a dietitian be more fulfilling? Be something that you feel good about waking up to every single day? I started the Make More Money as a Dietitian movement back in 2019 because I really wanted all of us to recognize that our careers were in our hands, that we could increase our earning potential beyond what we were believing at that time. And then it morphed into something that I really had no idea was going to happen. It really became a movement. And even though I had no intention in the beginning for it to become a movement, I was overjoyed because I said, now, yes, they get it. They understand that their career is their responsibility. And as long as they were willing to take it into their own hands, they can make more money, have more fulfilling careers and lives while changing other lives at the same time. And I loved it. I still love it. Do you know how many people have tried to get me to stop doing this work? But I love it so much that I actually was wondering, and I asked God, I said, if this is not where I'm supposed to be, take the desire away. And the desire has not gone anywhere. The desire continues. And there are some days that it feels like it's increasing, it's becoming even bigger. But I think it's growing and it's evolving since 2019. It has changed a little bit. It has gone from just thinking about the money to really helping all of us understand how important our work is and how we all individually are given unique gifts in which we are meant to use in this lifetime. And so that's why when I do coach my dietitian clients, it's not just on the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s of business, but it really is helping each and every single one of them to understand their unique gifts so that when they do go back out into the world in their nutrition businesses, in their private practices, that they are not regretful of what they have built, that they feel really good about what they have built because they have done the work, the inner work and the outer work. And so, once again, I do believe that we are meant to be moving in a new direction here on the podcast and at Manipura Center, because it's not only about making more money. It's about making sure that you are using your innate gifts and talents in the way that they're meant to be used to help heal the world. The world, even if it is just your little part of the world, we're meant to be doing that. So, if you have been in a place where you have been feeling overwhelmed, or maybe you've been feeling frustrated, maybe you've built a really successful nutrition business or practice and you are wondering if this is all that there is, I want you to know that as long as you wake up every day, there's opportunity for evolving and changing. And it is never all that there is, right? It's always, how can I keep growing? Okay. Now, going back to your intuition and your inner wisdom, I want you to think about how you can use your inner wisdom this week. Once again, what is it that you need to honor in your career? What do you need to be grateful for in your career? What do you need to allow yourself to be doing in your career? How have you been holding yourself back? What has your intuition been telling you that you probably should be doing, but maybe you're a little afraid? Is it something that you feel like, I won't be able to make money doing that? Or, oh, that client is really not going to go for that. I want you to really do some self exploration because, my friends, we are in some very interesting times. And if we continue to believe that we are supposed to keep doing business the same old way that we've been doing it for the past 8, 10, 15, 20, even 30 years, we'll get left behind. As a matter of fact, business isn't even business like it was in 2019. This world is moving faster than I have ever witnessed in my 55 years of life. So I want to encourage you to dig deep, start doing that inner work that is necessary. And if you need help with this, just know that I am the person to help you with this. I want to encourage you to visit the website at manipuracenter.co/booking, where you can book a session with me so that we can really get you on track with doing the things that you're meant to be doing if you're not doing it already. And if you're doing it already, how do you need to tweak it, shift it, grow it, evolve it in ways that are really fully utilizing your unique gifts. Because on the business side of things, we have to make sure that your differentiator, your unique proposition is out there in the world. Because if not, you're just going to be like any other dietitian or nutritionist. And you, my friend, are not. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you today. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's been inspiring. But most of all, I hope that this has been thought-provoking and that you have some key takeaways for yourself to act on. All right, take some action on the things that I have shared with you today, because I want you to stand out from the crowd, because it is crowded out there. All right. And the only way for you to stand out from the crowd is to allow your uniqueness to stand out. Have a great rest of your day and the weekend ahead. I'll see you on our next episode of Make More Money as a Dietitian. Bye for now, my friends. Hey there, my friend. If something in today's episode hit different, I'd love that for you. This week, I invite you to take one action that feels a little scary, yet honors your work. And for more resources and ways to work together, head on over to manipuracenter.co. Remember, you're not asking for too much, my friend. You've just been settling for too little.